Welcome back to Dank Out 4 with your host Alex, also known as Solinus Dracone. So this is a bit of a time fudge episode, so to speak. I had actually started to do the rest of the Silver Shroud quest, and unfortunately I had discovered that a very important player in the game, Irma here, who makes the quest she's basically quest essential to the Silver Shroud quest. She will not actually give you the final, listen to the radio to find out what happened to Kent thing. And so I have decided I'm going to go ahead and I'll just be re-recording the last part of the Silver Shroud quest. But I'm recording this first, even though it's coming out after the second part of the Silver Shroud quest. So I did actually kind of record this part, but I wasn't satisfied with how it came out. I didn't do it justice. I was rushing through. I was angry, so I decided that's not making it up to YouTube. So while this may have come out after the Silver Shroud quest, I'm doing this part before I'm actually finishing up the second part of the quest. But I will bring that back to you guys in the order in which I promised. So let's go ahead and see what happens.
Yes. Wait, I know you. You're on the railroad. What's this all about?
Let Nick explain.
This one's all yours, Nick.
We need a memory dig, Amari, but it's not going to be easy. The perp, Kellog, is already cold on the floor.
Are you two mad? Putting aside the fact that you're asking me to defile a corpse, you do realize that the memory simulators require intact, living brains to function.
Well, I mean, help us, maybe.
Please. Nick told me you're the only one who can make this work.
This dead brain had inside knowledge of the Institute, Amari. The biggest scientific secret of the Commonwealth. You need this, and so do we.
Fine. I'll take a look. But no guarantees. Do you have it with you?
I've got it right here.
Here's what I could find.
What's this? This isn't a brain. This is... Wait. That's the hippocampus. And this thing attached to it? A neural interface?
Those circuits look awfully familiar.
I'm not surprised. From what I've seen, all Institute technology has a similar architecture.
Is it still any good?
So the brain is still good, right?
Possibly. There's no sign of decay, so the tech is probably preserving the tissue, injecting some kind of compound to keep it stable. But there's no way to access the memories inside without a compatible port.
You're talking about me, right? I'm an old synth. If the Institute built me out of similar parts, we might have an in.
There could be long-term side effects. I don't know where to even...
Don't bother. I don't need to hear them. Plug me in, Doc.
Oh, come on, Nick. Man, he's a good guy. Thanks.
I appreciate this, Nick.
You can thank me when we've found your son. All right, let's do this.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Valentine. Just sit down.
Nick's such a good guy.
Like an old grizzled mercenary, pull me out, okay?
Let's see here. I need you to keep talking to me, Mr. Valentine. Any slight change in your cognitive functions could be dire. Are you feeling any different?
There's a lot of flashes. Static. I can't make sense of any of it, Doc.
That's what I was afraid of. The mnemonic impressions are encoded. It appears the Institute has one last failsafe. There's a lock on the memories in the implant.
Oh? Is Nick gonna be okay, though?
Is Nick gonna be okay?
Yes, the connections appear to be stable. Hopefully, it'll be as simple as unplugging the implant once we're done. But that doesn't get around the current problem. The memory encryption is too strong for a single mind. But what if we use two? We load both you and Mr. Valentine into the memory loungers. Run your cognitive functions in parallel. He'll act as a host, while your consciousness drives through whatever memories we can find.
Well, that sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. Let's get started.
Just sit down over there, and keep your fingers crossed.
See you on the other side.
Indeed, my friend. Let's get into the chair. Boy, this brings back memories of Fallout 3. Although this ain't Tranquility Lane we're going into.
initiating brainwave migration between the transplant and the host. Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant. It's degenerated, but it's there. We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find. They might not be stable. Just hold on.
And with a fade to white and a whoosh, we go inside a brain.
Can you hear me? Ah, good. The simulation appears to be working, although the memories are quite fragmentary. I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find one that gives us some clue to the Institute's location.
See,
There.
as I said, I had
This is
recorded
the
this
earliest
before,
intact
but I
memory.
rushed through it and I was pissed off because of the way that the game was handling it, so I'm going to try and do this a little bit better now, because I think Kellogg's story is a nice little addition to Bethesda's narrative.
You are experiencing these memories as Kellog. This may prove disorienting at first.
So let's see what the earliest memory Kellogg has was.
Turn down the goddamn radio! I'm trying to sleep!
New California Republic. All 5 states have now signed on, which means that as of this moment, we are all citizens of the new California Republic. I'm sure that's going to take some getting used to for a lot of us.
What a joke.
What's it mean, Mom?
Nothing, Connie. People like to talk and hope someone else is going to keep them safe.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days. Like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop sending you if that's what they're teaching you.
I'm going out! Where the fuck did you put my boots?
Listen to me, Connie. You take this. You're old enough. You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy. And all that on the radio, all useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands. You need to learn to use it if you're going to survive.
I will, Mom. I promise. I won't let you down.
You've always been my good boy.
This doesn't seem to be what we're looking for. There appears to be another intact memory close to you in temporal sequence. There. Try that one.
Alright, so basically Kellogg started out as a child when the NCR was being founded, so let's access these memories.
Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but I never really knew what he did. Don't know why Mom was with him. Maybe at some point in his life he wasn't a complete asshole.
The goddamn radio!
Cool. And him?
I was such a dummy back then. What did I know about how the world worked? I think now she wanted me to kill him. I should have. Instead, I ended up running away. I told myself I wanted to find somewhere out from under the thumb of the NCR and all their rules. But really, I was running from the guilt of not protecting her from Dad. Yeah, it doesn't matter now, though. Mom knew how it was. She wasn't soft, but she loved me in her way. And she protected me from Dad. That cost her more than a few beatings. I never knew what happened to her after I left. I didn't want to know. Not then.
So, as I was saying, Kellogg was born in the states which eventually became the NCR, which is quite far away ago in Fallout lore. This is actually, I don't know exactly how long, but Fallout 1 was basically, NCR had not been formed in Fallout 1, so Kellogg's been around at least as long as Fallout 2 has been around. And of course Fallout New Vegas is after the NCR had already been formed and founded for a while. So he ended up on the West Coast, which is why I actually like this sequence from a lore perspective, it kind of ties in the original story, which happened on the West Coast and involved a lot more politics, and it sort of also ties in the East Coast stuff, which Bethesda was doing as sort of a more sentimental kind of a thing. So let's proceed forward with the memories, shall we?
It's gonna be fine. You'll see.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah. You've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kinda green.
I know. But that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the she. A lot of standing around looking tough.
Well, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
Until he shoots the baby with it.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got her.
Let's keep looking. I'll connect you to the next intact memory.
So this is when Kellogg was still on the West Coast, so let's go over these memories.
The thing about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. Focus on that petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand that's what happiness felt like. I was the worst thing that ever happened to her. If she'd never met me, she'd have stayed in the hub, maybe hooked up with someone who didn't kill people for a living. Probably been happier than she was with me. Almost certainly lived longer.
The hub, a location in good old Fallout 1, became part of the NCR.
We don't know it.
Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second.
Anybody here.
Okay, and the window memory.
I thought San Francisco was my chance to start fresh. I was the hot shit, the gunslinger from the hub, rolling into town with the world at my feet. Everybody knew I was the one who'd shot Valdez. And I could write my own ticket to any outfit in town. It all worked out pretty damn well. For a while. Come on, Sarah, you got
Nice to know the Golden Gate Bridge lasts into the apocalyptic future. Well, mostly, except for that broken section.
Like that in the NCR
Onward we go. Let's see what Kellogg's memories hold.
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
I found another memory to try. I'll connect you.
Alright, that's a short one. Let's check them memories. He'll reappear.
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg?
This is not a memory to access. Interesting.
You thought
Nothing
you
in
could
the
just
door
fuck
either.
with us,
Interesting. Okay,
and
so
we wouldn't fuck with you.
no personal memories of that to relay back to us? Alright. Moving right along. It's interesting to think how Kellogg's actual, cognizance is going on here, that he's actually thinking while we're doing this.
Mind if we sit down?
Suit yourself.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you. And, you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you when the job is done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
So obviously, Kellogg didn't do so well with his family, it sounds like, because I can't seem to access any memories that are over there. But maybe this stuff will come in.
I didn't care where I was going. Ended up mostly wandering east. Getting as far away from San Francisco as I could, maybe.
Mind if we...
There's always someone who wanted someone else dead. Sometimes just roughed up, but dead was usually what they wanted. Sometimes they thought they could cheat me. That was usually only when I first arrived somewhere. Didn't matter to me. I just took it as part of the job. Little extra thrown in for free. I always got paid in the end. One way or another. There was always a job for someone like me. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter who I was supposed to kill. I got pretty good at it.
Sit down.
I don't remember much from that time. It all kinda blends together. There was almost always a bar, though. That's universal.
Okay, cool. So he struck out on his own. Let's see what the next memory is. Ooh boy.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
We do, as you can see.
What do you want?
It's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I could see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. Pt17, initiate.
So Kellogg's a badass.
Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something.
So he made it to the East Coast, which, oh.
Ah, there's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
So he made it to the East Coast, which I can't even begin to imagine what traveling on foot from California to flipping Massachusetts would have been like.
Mr. Kellogg.
I finally ended up in the Commonwealth. I kinda ran out of road. Plus, I'd come to terms with life. I wasn't gonna be stupid enough to get mixed up with caring about other people again. It was just me against the world. And the world had it coming. First synths weren't all that impressive. I'm good, but I'm not that good. But the Institute could always make more, and kept making them better each time. You still give me the creeps, but you have to get used to them if you want to work with the Institute.
I'm glad you
First synths weren't all that impressive.
decided to meet with me.
The first synths weren't
Okay,
all
the
that
same for all of
impressive.
them.
You heard all sorts of rumors about the Institute. But I figured they were just a convenient boogeyman for anything bad that ever happened. They were real, all right. They didn't know anything about operating on the surface. Relied on their synths for everything. They had the resources I needed, and I had the expertise they needed. Turned into a permanent arrangement. Suited me just fine.
Cool. So he's a badass, and he kicks ass. Let's see what this next memory he's got is, and oh, this one looks like it's going to be personal.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
Vault computers are still working. That's good. Checking through the logs. Hopefully it's all...
Just find it.
Pod C6. Down the hall near the end.
Wonder if all the pods have the same exact memory. We'll find out.
This is the one. Here.
Open it.
Is it over? Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's going to be fine.
Come here. Come here, baby.
No, I've got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only going to tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean!
God damn it. Get the kid out of here and let's go. At least we still have the backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
What's the hold
Ouch.
up?
I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm. Come on. Alright, we're good.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I found another intact memory. Whenever you're ready.
Man, oh man. Second time we saw that happen, huh?
Manual override initiated.
I was now the Institute's main operator in the Commonwealth. If they needed something done...
Come on, hold on.
I was now the Institute's main operator in the Commonwealth. If they needed something done, they came to me. It wasn't usual for anybody from the Institute to come along on a mission, so this one stood out. I didn't know then who it was we were grabbing from the vault. Of course, neither did they. Not really. The eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. But they needed me, and I made sure they knew it. The eggheads never...
Okay, that's the same exact thing. What about the cryopods?
I never knew why we didn't just refreeze the rest of them. But we had our orders. Guess the old man didn't want so many loose ends. Too bad he left alive the one person he shouldn't have.
Anything different?
I never knew why.
Nope. Okay.
I'm glad I didn't have to kill the kid. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but, I never liked to. And yeah, I guess it did remind me of, her. Yeah, I'm a cold-hearted bastard for sure, but, still human. Better this way, though. Better than taking her kid and leaving her alive.
I suppose.
Even then, I knew it was a mistake leaving him alive. I understood that kind of revenge. No one better. But I was cocky enough to assume I could handle some soft, pre-war vault dweller, even if he somehow got thawed out. At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too. If he could take me out, they won't be able to hide from him for long.
No kidding. Alright, this should be the final memory.
Is that your son? This appears to be a very recent memory, so good news, I think.
Piper's really done it this time. I mean, I'm not saying she's right, but Mayor, I probably shouldn't have even
Kellog.
said it.
It's okay. One of these days, you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Cool to see them actually handing an asset over.
Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Let's get the memories while we can.
This whole setup in Diamond City was part of some elaborate plan of the old man's. Seems obvious now that we were bait for our friend from the vault. Timing couldn't have been an accident. It's not how the old man works. I wonder if he outsmarted me in the end. Another loose end tied up. The new breed of synths could easily pass as human. Some of them did. But the coursers, they weren't built to blend in. They were killing machines, pure and simple. Smarter, stronger, and faster than almost any real human. I'm just glad they were always on my side. It wasn't my idea to settle down with the kid in the middle of Diamond City. I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid, like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently. But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long.
Just wanted to get those memories before these guys faded out, because they can take a while to come back in.
X688, ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready.
And for anybody who gets stuck in the dream, please remember, it's the TV that gets you out of there.
Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
feel alright, I guess?
I'm okay, Doctor. Thank you.
That's good, but I want you to keep monitoring yourself. We have to be sure there's no long-term damage. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
Yeah, teleportation, huh?
We got what we needed. The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out.
Yes, their greatest secret has finally been revealed. But that only leads to more questions. How does it work? Where do we go next?
Virgil.
That scientist Kellogg was supposed to track down. Virgil, we need to find him.
You're right. A rogue Institute scientist could answer all kinds of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That doesn't make sense. No one goes there. Not even if they were desperate.
Well, I'll find him all the same.
If we need to find Virgil, then I'm going after him.
If you're going to go, be prepared. You'll need some way to combat the radiation there. It's called the glowing sea for a reason.
Oh, don't you worry, I've got something.
I'll find a way to get through the rads. Don't worry.
Good luck. And be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
So I did this in the first recording of it. As I was saying at the time, there's not really any super compelling perks to get at this point in the game. I mean, I could go for Gun Nut 2 and get some guns up, but to be honest, I'm gonna pretty much be using Righteous Authority more or less for the rest of the game, so I'm gonna start getting my luck up. Luck is good in that it will help my my crit meter improve a lot faster, and as we go down the line, Critical Banker is actually a perk that I would like to get. Better Criticals is not bad. Not really any real interest in any of these other perks, to be honest. I can get all the money and ammo that I want just from vendors and such, so I'm going to start pushing my luck up every level that there's not something specifically good that I want to take. So now the glowing sea is opening up, and let's just go ahead and finish off this episode. It'll be a touch of a short one, I know, but it's a lore episode, and those can go bad after a while. And once again, I am doing this, technically I'm doing this before I finish off the quest for the Silver Shroud, but I kind of have to do it that way because Irma here, who again is essential for that quest to proceed, will not actually give us the dialogue to go find Kent until this particular quest has been taken care of. She'll just stand there forever and keep saying, oh, Nick is such a softie, please be nice to him, and things like that. So, you know, just I'm getting it out of the way before all of that crap. So let's go ahead and finish this one out.
Hey, Valentine.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. I was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
The fuck?
Kellogg? Is that you?
What? What are you talking about?
You sounded like Kellogg there for a second, bro.
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going.
You know, I'm going by myself, bro.
I'm gonna head out on my own from here, Nick.
Good luck out there. You know where to find me.
Okay, and so there's that necessary bit of nonsense taken care of. Again, this is coming out after I finish the Silver Shroud quest, even though I'm doing it before, technically. So, I want to thank everybody for watching. Once again, I am Alex, also known as Solanus Dracone, and this has been Dank Out 4. Thank you very much, and goodbye.